We're right and you're wrong.
Stay tuned to find out why. Hi everyone, Joe and Ben from PH Tennis here, and today we're going to sort of delve into our relationship with you a little bit and why we're always right and you're always wrong. Before we get into the video at large, it's worth noting at this point that we don't really mean it. This is a bit of a tongue-in-cheek joke, but as they say, many a true word is said in jest. However, all the comments, all your feedback, we do appreciate it, we do read it, we laugh at some, we get angry at some we just mock. But the idea is that every single person has an opinion, is entitled to opinion, but some people are just a little bit more informed, aren't they, Joe? And
I'll give you an example of how much we do take heed of your comments. We now stock and put in all of our demo rackets Restring 0 tennis string, and this came directly from comments on this YouTube channel, people saying you must try this, I'd love to see your review of this. We did, we loved it, we've now got that string everywhere. So we do listen, we really appreciate you, but sometimes you're wrong and we're right, and here are the reasons why.
And we still don't have the gravity.
Yes. We're going to start with a criticism that has been much levelled at us, Ben, and that is that we like all the rackets. Now that is simply not true, as gravity users will tell you, but there's more to it than that, isn't there, Ben?
Yes, we do like all the rackets, and we like all the rackets because we are not testing them for ourselves, we are testing them for you guys. So what we are doing is trying to find positives, we're trying to match players and rackets and styles and frames and all this sort of thing. We are not doing this for ourselves. Pretty sure it wouldn't be as much of a review if I went, easy, don't like it.
Yeah. Further proof that we're not doing it for ourselves is that both Ben and I and Josh have used the same racket for about 10 years, albeit with maybe newer versions. We haven't changed every time a new racket's come out. We think they're good because we are trying to find who they are good for and why they're going to be good for you. So you're welcome. It's not that we just think they're good, we're thinking of you.
Yes, it's also worth pointing at this point, none of the brands have pay us or we never get anything like that. We are just trying to be as positive as possible because that's just the way we are, I guess. Friendly, happy people.
Yeah.
But yeah, ultimately there is a racket out there for everyone. There is going to be someone who likes a Pure Aero Light.
Yes.
There is someone out there for it, and we will help that person find that racket. Yeah. Likewise, apparently people like the Gravity. Don't know why, but you do. So
there's 200,000 million billion people that think it's the best racket for whatever you want to do on a tennis court.
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
But there you go. We're doing it for you, not for us. The second reason that we are better at this than you, or more qualified to do this than you, is the fact that we are adaptable. Adaptable in our tennis. Aren't we, Ben?
Very much so. The biggest problem we see watching our rivals, colleagues, others, peers, yes, peers, that's the word. Yes, watching our peers out there, quite often you get some very, very dramatic opinions based on
hot takes.
Hot takes, that's the word I'm looking for. Hot takes based on what seems like relatively basic information. I hit 2 balls in and the third one went out. This racket is wild.
Yes, 60% good.
Yes, and the point is that you have to be able to change as a tennis player. You have to be able to attack, defend, swing long, swing short, play off the back foot, front foot, whatever it might be. And your ability to adapt is going to influence your ability to assess and judge a racket.
Yes, and what makes us so adaptable is that we are tennis coaches. We have to adapt in every session we play, with every player that we play with or play against.
Yeah.
It is also the very sort of foundation of how we like to coach tennis.
Yes, so point is, if you give me a, your E-Zone 98 tour, I will have to change how I play to suit that particular racket. Likewise, if Joe used my head speed.
And you can do.
And we can, and
yes.
I 100% don't like it as much, and I don't enjoy the experience as much, but I can still see why people do. I can still, edit things slightly and go, oh yeah, when you play like this racket works really, really well, and I can see why in this situation it would be useful, and that is absolutely key. A little story for you, Joe. There is a customer of ours who shall remain nameless, but knows who he is, who weighs his shock absorbers. because he doesn't want to upset the bounce of the racket too much. This gentleman also has never hit 3 balls in the court in a row, because every single time it comes over, he is hitting that ball as hard as possible. So when you never change your technique, when you never change your style, the racket becomes good, bad, and it can't possibly be you.
Yes.
What we are saying is definitely you.
Yes, we live in the grey areas. We can serve and volley, we can grind from the baseline, we can change our swing length, we can change everything about the way we play in order to fully review, to fully understand the equipment that we're reviewing. Some say that 3 is a crowd, but not for us at PH Tennis, because we have 3 experts.
Who are they then?
Me, you, Ollie.
And me.
There are 3 of us, and what this means is that when we are testing rackets or strings or anything else, we have a sounding board. We have other opinions. We have helpful colleagues that can help guide the testing process. You don't have that.
I wouldn't say helpful. We have colleagues. We have
Yes.
other opinions, and it does help us challenge each other, I guess. And what we're saying, what we're thinking is quite often you go, oh, that's interesting. That's not what I was feeling at all, or whatever it might be.
Yep.
And I guess overall, it just allows us to present a more holistic, rounded review of what we are using. Joe has a different play style to myself, and Josh obviously plays very differently. So we can all find the benefit within whatever we happen to be testing, and it helps us sort of link the racket to the player rather than just reviewing the thing itself.
Yes, exactly. I'll give you a specific example, difficult to say, specific example. We were testing some vintage classic rackets. Stay tuned for those. And having 3 of us on court, we were able to sort of guide each other and to get the most out of the racket. So at one point, Ben telling me with a very old, difficult racket to play with, to try and change my swing length, to lengthen it out, to play essentially a more old-fashioned style of game. And it helped massively, and I got to really experience the racket and then really start to test it properly.
So the other thing that's been interesting is that Wilson Ultra, the new Wilson Ultra, is actually designed for a double-handed backhand. So even that provides some interesting insight when I, as a single-handed player, try and use it, and how much more I preferred the single-handed version, than the double. So anyone who's just one guy, one girl, just reviewing a racket, you are going to be very fixed in whether you like it or not. We don't have to be.
No, exactly. So if you're ever in doubt, ménage à trois.
Easily the most obvious, and I'm sure you can all appreciate this, is we test the rackets under different conditions from you guys. We are based in North London, and North London weather is highly changeable. We have 2 different surfaces we play on, but we often test our racket on a relatively fast surface. We always do get new balls out, though, which is a big thing. But wherever you are in the world, and this sounds really nerdy, but sea level changes things, the court surface, the temperature, the balls you're using, the strings you've got in, the person down the other end of the court, all this stuff is going to influence how you feel about a racket.
Yes.
So like we were saying earlier, we do consider that, and that becomes why we live in that grey area of trying to find positives. But ultimately, we're going to have a different opinion based on where we use the racket.
Yes, and you mentioned the strings. I think that's the balls and strings, and that's important. And we joke about being nothing if not thorough. We can't control the weather yet, but what we do control is everything else. So we make sure that the rackets we're testing have got the same string in, at the same tension, that they've been strung at the same time by the same stringer. And we sort of say that jokingly, but all of those conditions, all of that, it was just trying to control as much as we can. So there's less variables. So unless whoever advice you're taking rather than ours is is doing that, pinch of salt.
Yes, certainly. It's like we paid attention in GCSE chemistry, wasn't it?
Yes.
There we go. So the next reason is a little bit more nuanced, and it ultimately isn't why we're better at it than you, other than the fact that we've considered this. A little story, my eldest was having a guitar lesson the other day, and her teacher took the guitar out of her hand and played the same song, Seven Nation Army, in 3 different ways on the same guitar, but created a different tone, a different sound, just by how he was holding, squeezing, pressing. I don't know technical terms, I'm sure those of you watching will, but it just made me think about when we're testing rackets and those days, when it's just not working, and it happens, and we blame the racket. And this is kind of what made me think, was well, actually, even the same person using the same racket can have a different opinion from one game to the next, from one day to the next. So it makes it really difficult to know for certain.
This This is a great example. We tested it once. It wasn't great. No one was feeling good. Josh testing E-zones, not in the best mood. All of these things can affect it. We had a completely different opinion of this racket, having tested it again in a different spot.
But that's kind of the point. So
yeah.
Even though you could have everything else could be exactly the same, just the way you're holding it, but a bit tighter, a bit more tension in your body, a bit less, whatever it might be, can change how the racket plays, how it feels. So you have to bear that in mind.
Yes.
And say you can't make a definitive, this is good, this is bad statement.
And it's because we consider these things that makes us better than you. I said maybe. God, I hate Oasis. And finally, and perhaps the most important or the clearest way, Ben, is that we do this every single day.
Yeah.
With
don't remind me.
with every single racket that we can possibly get our hands on. All the way down to the John McEnroe tournament edition, for example. We do it every day, no matter what the weather, no matter how we're feeling. We go out there and we test rackets and we think about rackets and we talk about rackets.
I can't remember the last time I used the same racket twice in a row. I honestly can't. I can't remember, like, even game to game.
Yeah.
Like this, yeah, it is constant, and it's just repetitions. It's repetitions of trying, of thinking, of feeling, and just trying to understand how these rackets work together. And when you've done it, as you say, every day for coming up to 2 years,
yeah,
you get a good understanding of what makes a racket go and what's good and what's bad.
Exactly right. As mentioned before, we are also tennis coaches, so we are on court a lot. This isn't something where we go and do our day jobs and at the end of the day we pick up a T-Fight and go and test it for a little bit. We are on court with these rackets all the time, every day. And we're also a retailer, so we also have them all, test them all, see them all every day. We are constantly involved in the rackets.
Yeah, and it is like an absorption, isn't it, almost? Like just constant thinking about these things and the impacts it has on players and who this would suit that person or maybe not. And then we get feedback from customers and YouTube comments and stuff, and it just builds to this sort of database of knowledge.
Yes,
I guess.
Exactly. And as we said, with things like Restring and also with the T-Fight, a lot of the comments were sort of questioned, disagreed with us essentially, and that's great. And what we did was we went and tried it, we went and played with it again, and we are lucky to be able to do that. We have all of these rackets, we have all of our demos, we can go and try things and retest them, and we can play the Blade versus the Ultra and the Ultra Pro, and we can test the E-Zone versus the Pure Drive, a luxury which we are very, very grateful for and which isn't afforded to many people. So there you go, reps. Simple as that. We do it all the time, so we know best.
Ish.
There we go. Of course, with a little bit of mirth, a little bit tongue-in-cheek, we don't genuinely think that we're better than you. We think we're better than most other YouTubers.
I think Josh does.
maybe Josh does. But we do appreciate you. We love all the comments, and we'd love to know your comments on this topic in particular. Like we say, we don't do it for us, we do it for you, and we will keep on doing it so long as you'll have us.
Yes, and we do know better, but we only know better because we're willing to listen. And the fact that you do give us feedback does inform us, does make us better, and we will continue to try.
Yes.
Like we do with everything else. Absolutely.
So, as always, don't forget to like, follow, share and subscribe so you never miss a thing from PH Tennis. I said maybe. God, I hate Oasis.